Hello everyone, this is Trevor Truck, and we are playing a game called Disturbed. And it's mostly gonna be me reading, because this is, I think, an RPG type of game, but also kind of like a puzzle game too. So let's see how this works. Another dull day passes as you struggle to manage your failing farm. Your crops are beginning to wilt and your cow is sick. For some time, the land has been very quiet. The air has grown thick and foul. Each passing day, you feel more uncertain if things will ever return to how they were before. Perhaps it is up to you. You've made up your mind. You are going to do something about it. You stand in front of your humble home, pondering what you should do next. Okay, so we've just got to make choices. And if it were up to me, I would say go in the house. Entering the house, you feel a subtle uneasiness as if the growing blight outside has penetrated the walls of your safe haven. From what you see, however, everything is the same as you left it. Perhaps this may be a good time to just lay in bed and wish that your problems will just go away. You fight the notion, but the temptation is still there. I'm actually curious about what's in the chest. You open the chest and find nothing more than a pile of papers. It seems you have less valuables than you anticipated. You close the chest. Let's read the journal. Dear Journal, another usual day on the farm. The crops are growing with good health. Beth Ann is also doing quite well, never disappointed with the milk she provides. If things continue to go well, I may be able to invest in more animals. A farmer can only be so social with a cow. Dear Journal, today has been an unfortunate day. Somebody broke into my shed and stole some things. I usually don't mind if someone steals a bite to eat from the garden, but to take my equipment, well, I put a lock on the door and hit the key. Nobody will ever get into my stuff again. Dear Journal, I woke one night to a foul smell I have never come across before. I took a step outside to see what I could find, but I found nothing after searching about the farm. Whatever it is, it must be bad. I should make a trip into the city to see what this is about. That is a lot of journal entries. You lay in your bed and fall asleep to the light sound of wind blowing outside against the grass. You begin to hear whispers and chants, but you can't make anything of it. An image appears before you, a stone, glowing as if it were alive. The chants get louder as your vision grows in more detail. You reach toward the stone with your hand. As your finger makes contact, a clash of thunder rattles around you. Your clothing and skin start to flake away like dust in the wind. The particles flow into the stone, sapping the life from your body. You feel pain you have never experienced before, and fear begins to flood over you. You suddenly see yourself laying in bed, never to wake up again. Your adventure ends here. Wait a minute, I died. I went to bed and I died. Come on, I thought I was gonna do so much better than that. You've gotta be kidding me. Oh. Alright, I'm back. Had to give myself a good pep talk to encourage myself to keep playing. So we're back to the game, and I realize now that maybe going into the house wasn't such a good idea. So let's go to the shed. You attempt to open the shed door, but the door won't budge. You remember locking it some time ago, but you can't remember what you did with the key. Okay. So, what I'm going to do is, probably go into the crops, I guess. A path divides the crops you have labored so hard to prosper these past months. A penetrating odor reminds you that your plants are decaying away and time is running short. Okay, let's follow the path. You continue down the trail for a while until you see a cave off in the distance. You pause, questioning if there could be something helpful in there. This feels like a trap, but I'm gonna go into the cave. There is a faint whistle from the wind passing between the rocks. The temperature significantly cools as you enter the cave. You notice that there is a different smell, but you welcome it, comparing it to the deathly blight found outside. It's a dead body, isn't it? Before you take your next step, a large bear emerges from the darkness. Okay. You realize that you have made a terrible mistake even thinking that something helpful could be in here. But we do know that the bear smells good, at least. Well, I feel like death is going to happen either way, honestly. Let's see what happens. Well, you make it to the trail. Then the bear catches up with you, tackling you to the ground. You scream in pain as the bear rips you apart. Your adventure ends here. Okay. So, I think what I'm gonna have to do is save the game here and just so we can expedite certain processes. I actually am kind of curious about the house, but the problem is I already did everything that I could do. If I go to bed, that's not gonna help me. I need to find a key, right? And I need to see if I can figure out let's see here. So the game is kind of forcing me to go to the city, I'm assuming. We're gonna head to the crops first. We're going to... Well, I am curious about the pin. I really am. A toxic fume burns your nose as you enter the pin. Your poor cow lays lifeless on the ground as a growing blight slowly begins to consume her body. You feel sick to your stomach as you stand here, especially as you stare at the black mushrooms that dot the ground. Okay. Well, I'm a very curious explorer, so I'm gonna grab a mushroom. You kneel down and grab a mushroom. As you begin to rip it out of the ground, a cloud of spores spray from the mushroom. Your hands begin to burn and melt as you observe them. Slowly, your body shrivels up into a dark, moist consistency. That's a spelling error. As the poison spreads, you die eventually after crawling about on the ground. You know, I'm quite convinced there's no correct choices in this game. Let's follow the path, because I do want to see where this leads. Okay, so you stumble upon a broken wagon. Let's inspect it. There might be a key in there. You look about the mess and find bits of food and clothes scattered about the scene. You notice a key on the ground during your search. You pick up the key and continue on your way. Okay, so after what felt like an hour or two, you reach a bridge. Nearby the path is a small shack, similar to the house you have on the farm. Okay. Quick save. Alright. The man that lives here is a kind fellow from what you recall. Maybe he is home. Yeah, he's home. You walk toward the structure and knock on the door. You scratch the back of your head, figuring that the person that lives here is currently occupied, if not elsewhere. You remember picking up a key from the wagon, and you use it on the door. The door unlocks. You decide to help yourself in. Maybe not the best idea, honestly, but okay. Observing the empty room, you realize something terrible must have taken place here. The room is a wreck, just like the wagon. You are overcome with fear as you think of the man that used to dwell here. Maybe we shouldn't stay in here for such a long time. Let's try the book. Okay, you discover that this is a journal. Reading a passage or two can't hurt. Unless the zombie is, like, right behind us. Alright, today's trading went smoothly, thank goodness. What I am thrilled most about, however, is what one of my buddies mentioned to me at the conclusion of our day. Apparently there is a pond nearby that has some of the biggest fish in the region. With a good catch, I can make enough to move things forward. I was caught off guard when he mentioned that nobody has been able to catch any from there. I guess your typical fishing rod won't do the trick. But what can be done about it then? Something to be intrigued about, I suppose. Yes. These past couple of weeks have been really rough for me. My trading business has gone under and I have lost nearly everything I own. This has pushed me to extremes, but that can't be helped now. I am leaving this place forever, never to return. The land is dying, and there's nothing but darkness here. Anyone reading this should leave while they can. So that's a hint, right? You can't find a name to give this man, but regardless of the name, you got chills running down your spine. I think his name is Jonathan. I feel kind of weird about opening the trapdoor, but let's humor this game. You observe the trapdoor and notice a lock keeping it closed. With the key, you unlock the hatch and get it open. Without thinking, you travel downward. Ooh. Save it here. Walking down the steps leading below, the air attacks your body with a piercing cold. Not to mention there's an actual body hanging on the chains. You notice immediately that there is a woman chained to the wall. She doesn't seem to notice you as you study her. You feel darkness surround you as you stay in this awful place. You tremble as you try to form words in your mouth. You there, let me out of here. The pressure of such a demand makes you freeze. You take a moment to think about the situation before you respond. What got you locked up to begin with? You'll never believe me, even if I told you the truth. Something brought you here. Please have mercy on me. Wow. I mean, it's coming down to survival instinct versus human empathy. And I suppose in this situation, empathy might win out, but it might be to my detriment. You approach the woman and unlock the shackles that bind her. As her arms become free, she moans in pain. Oh, thank you so much. The woman struggles to regain her strength, but starts to stand up on her own. As she gets up, she turns towards you. I will now do you a favor. This doesn't look like it's going to be pleasant, okay? What seemed to be the face of a helpless woman disappears as a horrible image manifests itself before you. You feel the chilling grip of bone hands lock onto your arms. Energy flees from your body and you fall to your knees. You feel the essence of your life slip away as everything goes black. Wow, that's very poetic. It is unfortunate that your journey ends here. Really? Okay, so now I'm just gonna leave the shack, because I now know not to do that. That was pretty smart. So this is me. I'm gonna overwrite that save. You cross the bridge safely and continue down the trail. After all that has happened, you feel that you should take a moment to rest. Sure. You find a spot under a tree and sit down. Getting comfortable, you tilt your head back against the tree and gaze into the sky. What does pick at the grass mean? I feel like that's a trap. Oh, I guess I'll do it. As you pick at the grass blades in your reach, the ground begins to shake. Before you can get up, roots from below sprout from the ground and wrap around your legs. Oh, hi there. You turn around to see a large angry face looking back at you. Your jaw drops in horror. No sound or scream escapes your tongue as the tightening grip of the roots squeeze what air is left out from your body. We shouldn't be surprised, right? Okay. I am literally just gonna keep dying. So, I know now to take a nap, apparently. Alright. As your mind wanders, you see a blurry image. Details emerge as you gaze. You wonder who this might be. A bad feeling then overcomes you, and you realize who this is. It's Jonathan. You try to wake yourself up. You wake up and jump to your feet, looking about yourself and your surroundings. All seems well. You can't help but feel fearful that something bad will happen to you if you stay here. Moving forward seems like the only logical option now. Okay. You reach a point where the trail splits into two paths. Which way should you go? Let's save the game. And, I'm gonna stop for right now. But one observation that I want to make is I'm pretty sure I should try my best to avoid falling asleep in this game, because apparently that just leads to death. The first time I fell asleep, I died, and then the second time that I fell asleep, took a little nap. It seems like I barely made it out before the death got to me. So, I think sleeping is probably not the way to go. Anyway, I actually had a good time, and maybe I'll continue this. I'll see how I feel, but this has been a little bit different, right? This has been Disturbed, and thank you for watching. Goodbye.